we go, here we go, here we go. The setup was totally not made in the past 5 minutes. It was 10 actually. Where's the camera? Oh, there's the camera? Oh, okay, yeah. That's camera 1? Okay, gotcha. Hey guys, welcome to another live comm, completely scripted, right? Not from the heart at all, not rehearsed. I mean, it is rehearsed. Yeah, I think this is the perfect time to do another one of these. I wanted to wait with doing, cheers by the way. I want to wait with doing one of these for a couple of reasons, or maybe it's just one reason. The biggest reason is I wanted to make progress, right? To make like solid progress. I wanted, like after the last live comm, I don't remember if that was with someone or not, but it's gonna blow. Nice. I don't remember if it was with someone or if I just did a solo comm, but hold on 1 second. This is completely wait, this is completely not scripted, of course. I was just joking. But I like to do it this way simply because it's from the heart, and again, cheers. I'm gonna be all over the place throughout this video, by the way, just a little disclaimer. Duvel sponsor me, by the way. But again, this is what I like. This is real. I mean, you see, like this might happen a lot, but then again, that's why Adobe Premiere exists and alternatives. So what was I even saying? I was saying how this mic stand is trash. Jesus Christ, man! Like, I don't know who designed this, but please quit your job. So yeah, I wanted to make progress first. That was the most important thing. Do you guys like my tree, by the way? Do you like this table too? Apparently it's like, how do you call these things on the street? And there's like water that spouts out. It's like on the tip of my tongue, but whatever. Goldfish memory. Oh, this is going to be lovely. I want to make progress first, right? Specifically, I wanted to progress with my music. And if you guys tune in the streams in the past months, then you know how I put myself a deadline for the end of the year to finish, well, finish quote unquote my first album, and more specifically finish the tracks, the skeleton of every track. And a couple hours ago I finished with that, and so far there's 15 tracks, if I'm correct. I actually have the whiteboard over there, which has been an amazing help, and I think it should be around 15 tracks that I really enjoy. Where to even start, man? Like it's been a trip. It's been a huge mental trip, with a lot of ups and downs. You know, but it's true, and you know, it's not like I had to go through war or whatever, but it's like it was a very big challenge for me, and it's been long overdue as well, because like I've always wanted to make my own material, but it's taken me so many years to break out of a lot of self-doubt and thinking it's not worth it, thinking that I can't do it, and you know, the typical stuff. And it's easy to say just do it, but if it's, you know, if there's mental stuff involved, then you just can't. It requires a revelation, a breakthrough, etc. and there's no like golden rule to escape that kind of prison, because everyone is different and everyone has different experiences. So there's a different solution for everyone as well, which kind of sucks, of course, because no one should have to go through something like that. And actually, following up with that, there's another topic I'd like to discuss later on, if we'll get to that point, but we'll see. But first, the music, that's the most important thing. That's why I wanted to make this live come at the end of the decade, by the way. Right? Right? I think so. Yeah. I'm not tracking time anymore. Like I haven't tracked time since years ago. Like I don't care like what year we're in, or I don't live in years, you know, I don't live in week by week, so I can't talk English anymore as well. Um, it doesn't apply to me. Like I don't see life like that. I don't want to like structure it or whatever. It's not what I do. Anyway, segue. The music. So I actually I'm not gonna reveal any of the like the names or even the name of my band. Um, I just want to keep it on the down low until it's all properly finished and ready to get out there. I think that's the best thing to do. Um, I'm sorry for saying I'm actually not an person, but maybe it's because it's in English. I don't know. Anyway, so I think I came up with the name in 2014. So I've had the name for my one-man band for 5, 6 years almost. And as soon as I thought of it, I was like, this is it. This is what I want to be called, or this is what I want people to know me by this name. And I never really looked back after that. Like, actually, I don't think I had a lot of other names. Not that I can think of. Maybe like it's buried deep down at this point, but not that I can think of. Um, but as soon as I landed on that name, I just knew that's it. And also, it didn't exist already, as far as I can tell. So that's that's a big plus too. Um, yeah, so there's that. But besides the name for my one man band, like the music obviously took the longest to find my footing in, find my sound. And I think the biggest reason for that is because I wanted to play everything. I've always loved so many genres, and I've told this so many times before, I don't see music as genres, I see music as music. But I mean, I guess it's easier to, you know, put structure in it like that. But I do enjoy lots and lots of different genres. There's songs in almost every genre that really make me feel it. Here we go again. I always call it it. I don't know. You can call it an out of body experience or an eargasm or whatever. I'm gonna just call it, whatever. It's just those moments in songs that make you feel it. I need to drink more. Regardless. So I did struggle for years and years to decide for myself what I wanted my sound to be. Because I wanted to play like hard songs like metal and, you know, extreme things, and but also at the same time like very classical things and just pop or even electronic music, because all of those styles contain elements that make me feel it. So I wanted to find a way to make music where I can include all of those things. And for the longest time, I always refer to progressive music as the solution for that. In my eyes, progressive music can contain just about anything, because it's about, I don't know, I don't even know. Like, I'm not gonna pretend like I know everything, but that's just how I saw progressive music. And that was confirmed as soon as I started listening to bands like Dream Theater and King Crimson and Haken. Like they included so many different genres in their sounds, and that kind of gave me hope that it would be possible for me to make music like that. And looking back now that I finished, well, not finished, now that I have all those tracks, it's the result is actually kind of what I expected, but there were a few surprises in there as well. And more often than not, instead of like super technical tracks, it turned out to be just straightforward 4/4. I wouldn't say mainstream, but like mainstream, what's the word? Mainstream, suited, or maybe not entirely, whatever. You'll see, you'll hear it. But yeah, and I guess the reason why it turned out like that is for this first album, I put the emphasis more on writing songs to really convey a message, and also put focus on the lyrical part. And I guess that's why they turned out more traditional, but at the same time it's pretty unique in a way. Yeah, I lost my train of thought. Nice. We need more booze. I only have one of these here. I should have more. But yeah, whatever. So I think I wrote so many concepts over the years. Since I think I really started writing music in 2011, around that time. And I remember having my MacBook, and then I got Finale, the program, and there's like it works with like a score editor, and then you put in the notes, and then you hear what it sounds like, and that was a very big help to start out with. And actually, funnily enough, there is a piece of music that I wrote in 2011 that made it in this list of tracks. Excuse me. That made it in this list of tracks. So that was like very wholesome to finally do something with that, because I had that, like I wrote it's a super old melody, obviously. But throughout the years, it always came back to me in a way, but in a different context, but I never could place it quite well. Because there's like an odd feeling to it. It's probably out of key because I don't like, you know, I know my theory, but I never apply theory when I'm writing stuff. It just it's not for me. Like I couldn't do it. But I mean, it's a two-way street. Like on one way, I can never see myself apply that theory, but at the same time, I think by doing more practical things, eventually I'll get that revelation of, oh yeah, I should totally apply the theory, you know, because, you know, it's a mental block, to be honest. Because I do know why it's handy to apply the theory, but at the same time I just can't make myself work that way. It's weird. It's all mental, man. But you know, after so many years, I'm sure it'll catch up to me. Yeah, what was I saying? Mental block, tracks, music. Yeah. So that was kind of cool to finally have a place for that super old melody, because I always wanted to do something with it, because I knew it was a special one. And here we are, freaking 7, 8, almost 9 years later. But I noticed, like, from like recent videos that I watched, it's a pretty common thing, right? To use creations from many years ago into your current projects. It's not that uncommon. So yeah, it's good. For the concept, the album will have a concept as well. Lyrically, what I want to convey, the whole theme that I want it to be about. And I'm actually, like, with every passing day, I'm getting more and more excited to actually properly finish it, because like I said, right now what I have are 15 tracks, whose skeleton is is there, you know. So I'm 100% sure about the whole structure of the song. I know what I want to hear in every part. Now it's more about putting in the details, maybe altering, you know, it's some tweaks here and there, you know. But the biggest mental part is done, which I'm very happy about, because the road to get there was pretty rough. I'm pretty sure that applies to almost every aspiring musician who wants to write their own things. Like that it's that first like album or LP or whatever, LP EP that you want to get out of the way, or not out of the way, but you know what I mean. Like it's that first block that you have to kind of climb over. That's pretty much the hardest part, because as soon as you have done that and like you worked passionately at it, after that you have like a much better view of your sound, what you like, what you don't like, and you've had that starting point now, and now you can, I don't know, then you can continue in an easier fashion, in my opinion. I already feel like that. Like now that I've written all these tracks, I can see my sound so much better, what I want to sound like, what I don't want to sound like, some like misconceptions that I had, you know, lots of mental stuff, man. I haven't slept in days, man. I should have mentioned that at the start of the video, but like, you know, I probably look like hell, but I don't know, lighting does a lot. But you know, since I took this deadline very serious, it's like a fictional deadline. Okay, it's like a fictional deadline, but it really helped me to like work at it and really get the job done. And I think I set the deadline like 2-3 months ago, maybe in September. I think so. And it also helped that I announced it on the stream, because if I tell you guys, it puts even more healthy pressure on me, because I want to, you know, just have stuff like, I don't know, it's just cool to know that other people are aware of it. It just helps for me, you know. Everyone's to each their own. Screw it. But yeah, moving on. I'm recording this with my webcam, by the way, because I was already pretty sure that it would be more than half an hour, and my camera can only record in like 30-minute segments, and I don't want to bother like switching everything. I just want to sit here and chill and like turn a little bit over here and a little bit over there. Like eventually this whole corner will be revamped into the live commentary scene. Like right now it's pretty bland, but that's because I have some works happening here in the future, and these walls might get like a makeover, so I didn't want to put any stuff on there already. I'm gonna keep that for later until everything is done here. Yeah, but it will be all sparkly and fabulous eventually. We'll get there, you know, we always do. Yes, so the album, what was the last thing? Misconceptions. Yeah. It was a tough journey. It was a tough journey, man. Jesus Christ, especially the beginning. Like I'm gonna keep repeating it. Having like when you haven't made a single track yet for your project, for your band, there's so much choice paralysis. I mean, for me, I'm just gonna speak personally. I had so much choice paralysis, right? That's become one of my favorite words of the year. Thanks, Daniel. But it's true. I was still lost in the wasteland. I had no clue how I wanted to. I had like a vague idea of how I wanted to sound, but never truly concrete, or never really a decisive 100%. This is what I want it to be, and it's not like I did anything magical, but stuff just started to work out for itself. I started writing bits and bobs. Like I open a project, I write a couple measures, I keep looping it, and then I close it, and then I start the next project. Um, and also I guess I haven't, yeah, because I don't even, when was the last live com? Like a year ago or something, right? I mean, I think so. I don't think I did one this year. So it must have been like a year ago already. Jesus Christ. Uh, yeah. Oh, I think I uploaded the one with Peter, like, but that was in 2017. But whatever. Um, so yeah, I landed an amazing job in September, um, and I'm still so happy and thankful about it that I landed that job, because it's honestly, it's the perfect ideal situation for me. Like, funnily enough, I always when I was like job searching, you know, I have my degree in multimedia, programming, computer stuff, so I could have easily picked a job in that field, because I am pretty good at it, and just work my ass off, get tons of money, tons of benefits, um, and I would be fine. But that's not what I want to do, right? If I'm really honest. I mean, I always knew that that wasn't what I really wanted to do, but you know, the years pass, you grow up, you know, things change. Um, or like we start to make more and more excuses, right? And then we take the other path, I guess. I don't know. And actually, to be honest, for a time, I was actually heading in that way. I was pretty convinced that okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna work in that field, and just um, you know, all my other stuff will just magically work itself out, I guess. um, but as soon as I started working in that field, I already knew that that was not gonna happen. Like, unless I completely gave up my free time and destroyed my own mental health, because for those kind of jobs you do need to commit 100%. They only want the best people, which makes sense, of course. um, and I mean, you know, all those benefits and all that high salary that you get, it does come at a price, which would be no surprise. It rhymes. um, Let me just check how long we've been going for. Like, only 23 minutes. Jesus Christ! It's like I've been sitting here for an hour. But I mean it as like a good thing. Whatever. Moving on. What was I talking about? So much goldfish, man. I'm sorry. This is raw. This is unfiltered. Let me just think. Oh yeah, the job. Yeah. So yeah, even though the only thing that I did was like an internship, it was pretty much an internship in a sense that they will give you the real deal already. You know, you'll see the whole inside of the job completely. But I didn't need to see 100% of it to realize that this would not work with what I really wanted to do with my music, and the stream as well, because I do take that very serious as well. Um, and so that was in the start of the year. And then they didn't even let me pass, even though I did my work correctly. It's just one of those things. Like when I read more about it, about the whole like internship thing for jobs here, it's pretty known that they just kind of scamboozle you in a way. It's all already like predetermined as soon as you start that they would not hire you or something, just because it benefits them in a way, and la di la di la la la. But whatever. At least it made me realize it, that it would not work out for me. Um, so yeah, there was a job thing. I hope I'm not going off the place, by the way. I'm sorry, I'm just rambling. Like I said, I'm not I never rehearse these things, I just speak my mind. Um, so yeah, after that, I and this was in the start of the year, like a couple months after that, um, I was still looking around, but I wasn't really, my heart wasn't 100% in it, of course, after that experience, and with so many realizations that it would like like bring conflict to my dreams and goals. And at the same time, maybe it would have worked out. Maybe, you know, things would have just lined up, but I just had that gut feeling that it wouldn't work out for me. Um, and now that I look back, I'm very happy that I decided to get out of that field. So yeah, a couple months passed. I'm actually doing a recap of the year now. Yeah, but I might as well. Whatever. Because it does relate to all the topics that I do want to talk about. Ba ba ba. Yes, in May, I think, me and the boys from a band that I played in are actually on hiatus right now because I quit the band in July or June or something. Um, just to work on this personal project, which I'm thankful about because I don't know, whatever. So we went to Prague, right? Me and the two boys for 10 days, I think it was. And that was honestly at the greatest time there, man. Like in my own way, I should add. Um, I don't travel to like, you know, go wild or get drunk or go to parties or whatever. The other two, they do it like that, which is completely fine. I respect that, but it's not for me. Um, but then again, it was fun to have those two around because they're different people, which is what I like, and you learn a lot from different people, you know. Um, but like I always wanted to visit Prague because I don't know, back in my Tumblr days, I was browsing so many pictures on there of Prague and the architecture and the whole mood and environment and the way of life, I guess. And it's always like it has always struck a chord with me. Is that how you say it? I don't know. Um, it always impressed me, and I like throughout the years there was never like any other place that I would want to visit or was so keen on visiting than Prague. And before we went, one of the boys asked, like they proposed if that we should um, travel somewhere, and they had some ideas, but they couldn't decide, so they let me decide. So I picked Prague. There you go. And um, it was like in short, it was. I think I did vlog there, and I did show that on stream, but I never uploaded it on the channel. But I'm pretty sure you can find it somewhere if you just browse the history. Um, but it was everything that I wished it would be, and more. It was so beautiful. They take really good care of their city. Um, and yeah, we only visited Prague itself, like we didn't go outside of Prague. And that wasn't even necessary, but because there's so much to do there anyway. You got your hands full. But it was lovely, man. It was magical. I do want to go back, to be honest. I didn't think I would say that because I'm not the kind of person that does things over again or something. I don't know. Maybe in some ways that I'm not thinking of, but like travel wise, you know, I never could imagine myself do that. Like visit the same place twice or something. I don't know. It's weird, but I guess hell now I want to. Now I want to go back again. Um, yeah, it's beautiful there, man. I took so many pictures. A lot of them failed because a lot of them were taken during the night. You know, your boy has an obsession with lanterns and the way they light up areas. and there were so many like magical sceneries there, um, which had those elements in it, and I always wanted to take pictures of it, but they always failed because it's at night, and you know, you need a pretty good cam for that. But I would still take the pictures, even if they were blurry, just because as soon as I saw the picture again, it would instantly remind me of what I was seeing then. You know, it instantly takes me back. And that's the same with like all the pictures that I take. They just take me back instantly, and I can feel how I was feeling at the time, what I was thinking at the time, etc. And I really like that. Like I've said this many times before, but that's why I love taking pictures and recording videos, even videos like these, because time will pass, and there will be a point in time where we look back to this video, and then you know you what's the word? I can't think of the word. You reminisce about the past and compare it to where you are now. You know what I mean. Progress, right? That's what it's all about. Think. So yeah, Prague was amazing. I highly recommend it if you're into architecture. Good vibes, a very interesting nightlife as well. Very polite people. I mean, I didn't see any bad people or whatever. I mean, there's bad people everywhere, but the general vibe was very positive and healthy there. And the whole cheap part is pretty much 50-50. Like it was cheap for breakfast stuff when we went to stores in the morning to get some things. And like stuff like water and sodas, and like I don't remember the exact size, but it was like 2.5 liters or something for like no money almost, which was awesome. But then there's other stuff that is very expensive still. But it makes sense, of course, like restaurants, for example, they're still gonna charge you a lot of money. Speaks for itself. Anyway, so that was an amazing trip. I'm very happy I got that out of my system. I'm very happy to say that I've visited it. Yeah, and I do want to go back. Maybe even alone, to be honest. Like, I don't know, because I think I would really enjoy traveling alone. I don't know. I don't think I've tried it. No, I haven't. I don't think so. No, but I'm pretty sure I would enjoy it. And it would be good for my, I don't know if I have social anxiety, maybe, I don't know if that's the right word, but like, it would just help for me to become a more confident person or something. Not that you should like force yourself. I mean, sometimes it's healthy to force yourself to do something, but you know, you gotta weigh in these things into your own personal situation, and if you feel that it would be beneficial, you go for it. If you don't think it is, then it's not your time. Jesus, I always think the camera is freezing or something, or whatever. Jesus, I'm sorry if the video is potato, by the way. Like I didn't have a lot of time to or I didn't want I'll correct myself. I didn't want to put a lot of time into setting up this whole ordeal because there's a lot of cables on the ground. It's a whole mess. So yeah, it is what it is, right? The most important thing is the audio, of course, the log. Yeah, Prague was awesome. I'm gonna keep saying it. So that was May. And then I think after I returned, that's when, like a couple of weeks later, I had a talk with the boys that I wanted to break off with the band. And I didn't say like I always want to play for them again, but the biggest reason why I broke off is because when we were songwriting, we were just clashing too much. And you know, that sucks, of course, but you know, I just realized that it wouldn't work out in that way. So I just said, I'm gonna take a step back. You guys can write. If you want me to play your stuff, I'll play your stuff. If not, that's completely fine. I respect that. It's up to them. Yeah, but I did make sure like I love those two guys. Like it's been a a very good experience meeting those two and learning from them and jamming with them. Um, yeah, it was good times. And it will. I mean, I'm sure we'll meet up again and um, we'll talk business. I'm sure. They're good guys. And there were a lot of fun in Prague as well. Like I said, I'm not a party guy or anything. I do love the night, the whole nightlife, but not to like go to clubs or whatever. It's not for me. Uh, like I'm the person that looks at the night sky the whole night or whatever, you know. Um, but it was funny with those two, because we did have one or two nights that we went out. Um, and there was one night especially where we just went from pub to pub, get wasted and do shots, and it was insane. Um, and fun. It was a lot of fun actually. Um, I mean, it's not that we went very crazy, but it was just, it was good fun to just roam around. There were some really interesting pubs there though, man. Like so, a whole bunch of underground pubs and like dungeons almost with these kind of tables actually, like, you medieval style. Well, I don't know. Well, you know what I mean. Old school vibes. Like very um, underlit areas, right? All moody, good music, um, very good atmosphere. Um, yeah, that was good. I mean, we did like it did end up in very interesting conversations. Of course, when you drink, you become all loose and the feels pour out, the real feels. And we did have at one point a good heart to heart about how we all felt. Um, and I remember Michiel, one of the guys, like he was telling me to that I should open up more because I'm always a very quiet and reserved guy, and that's a conscious thing. I just prefer to be that way. Um, but yeah, whatever. It was good. It was very good conversations. Yeah, so I really appreciate that trip that we went on. Um, there was of course some sad parts with Daniel having to puke literally 24 hours in a row. That was kind of annoying. Like the hotel we were staying at, a hostel I think it's called. So it was like shared rooms, and I think we were with one, two, three, four, six people. So three random people, and they were all very kind and nice, very cool people. So that wasn't an issue. Um, but that like it really, like maybe it's just that hostel in particular, but it was a very very good experience there. Very professional and everything was just good and no complaints. Like the hostel itself was very like modern and like almost steampunky in a way. Um, it had like a concert hall as well, and bars and everything that you would wish for. And it's like in the center of the city as well, so everything was right outside and in walking distance. So just plus plus plus, you know. If I go there again, it'll probably be the same thing, to be honest. But yeah, we'll see. Um, yes. So a couple of weeks after that, we met up, and I announced that I wanted to take a step back, and they respected that. It was all cool. No problems at all. No problems at all. Which I'm still thankful for, because uh, other people would probably take it in a different way or something. Actually, I did have that experience, to be honest. When I was searching for bands to play with, I met up with a lot of people over a couple of weeks, like always the same. I would always pick the same location to meet up, always the same bar, you know. It was kind of funny. It was giving me really tons of deja vu, which makes sense. But of course, once I picked to play with Daniel and Michiel, I had to let the other bands know that I was out, because there's no way that I could manage multiple bands at the same time. and most of them took it well, but there were a couple of people who were really pissed off at me for picking someone else, which I mean I kind of understand, but you know, it's kind of sad to see at the same time. But yeah, whatever. Like I said, this was like a minor thing. It only was with a couple of people. People will be people. It's all good. I have no problem with it. So yeah, that was June or something. What comes after June? July. Oh yeah, July was when I started working on the Deathstarke app. Holy damn, Jesus Christ. That's like half a year ago already. That's insane, man. Like, so we initially had the YouTube chat group, right, for the stream. If you guys aren't following my stream, then I apologize, but you can just skip ahead or something. So me and the Fatamakas had like a chat group on YouTube, which was really like a lot of fun, good times, and very handy. But YouTube announced that they would disable the chat functionalities on my birthday, actually, yeah. September 18th, by the way. And that made me sad, right? Because I really like interacting with all my Fatamakas. So I wanted to find a way to be independent and just have my own thing. And so yeah, I just started programming my own app, own chat app, which was the initial idea, just a chat app. Just pretty much copy paste the YouTube thing in my own app, right? So we can just continue the dialogue, which I hope I'm not buffering, which worked out. I started in July, I'm pretty sure, somewhere in July, maybe at the end of July, and so there was a deadline, which was my birthday, and I worked my ass off for that, man. Like I remember when I was making my first mobile game, Omni Draw, which was in 2018 or 17, I don't know, maybe end of 2017, start of 2018 or something. Yeah, I think it was something like that. I worked my ass off. Like I was so addicted to programming during those times. Like both for OmniDraw and now for the Deathstarke app as well. I was addicted to programming it because everything was up to me. Like I'm a one-man team, right? So the amount of progress depends on how much I work on it. And that got really addicting because you wanna finish these things ASAP, but at the same time do a good job. But I was working 24/7 on that, man, like for 2 months straight, day in, day out, like maybe sleep 3 to 4 hours every day, and just make it work. And I'm pretty sure I've spent at least 1,000 hours. Is that even possible? 1,000 hours in like 2 months? 60? Yeah, it's possible. Yeah, it actually might be close to 1,000 hours in 2 months. I'm not even. Wow, that's insane. That's actually insane. I spent my whole summer just programming. Wow. I never thought I would say that, but I did it because there is a bigger picture to it all. Like I love my stream. I love the whole concept of the void, of Starke, of emotes, of terms, of what I bring to the stream, of the whole Fatamaka system. I love it, and I have so many ideas that I want to work out still. But you know, as you all know, because I wanted to do the music first, I couldn't work on that, or neither work on the Deathstarke app. But I really love it, man. As soon as I started streaming in 2017, I just felt really connected to the whole world, you know, because you're broadcasting yourself, you're getting out there. You can potentially reach the whole world who has a Twitch account or YouTube account. You know, I always like that idea, like you're out there, you know, and there's nothing stopping anyone from tuning in. And that ties in together with me wanting to meet people from all over the world. And yeah, it's I love it, man. It's a lot of fun to just improve the stream and continue the narrative with Starke and the Void, and like I said, I've said this so many times on stream. We haven't even started with like the real deal of what I want the stream to be. There's so many things that I need to finish that will just take it to new heights. Um, and like over the last couple of months, there were some investments made, right, like the green screen and additional cams and some graphics here and there. Um, and those will contribute to version 3.0, as I like to call it. Um, but yeah, we're still a long way until we get there. But the cool thing is it will happen. That's the awesome thing. I will get there. I just need time. Um, I'm so dedicated to it, to the stream, to the music. And what's the third one? Do I have a third one? I don't know. I think it's just those two. Oh, programming, yeah. The Deathstarke app. Yeah, yeah. And the coolest thing of them all is that I can combine those three things into one. Like, I would, for instance, I would play my own music on the stream. I would stream my future gigs or something, and I would make it accessible in the Deathstarke app, stuff like that. That's what I like to do, man. Just combine everything and make it all work out instead of keeping things separate. That's actually the thing that I hated about college, in my college at least, because we were like the guinea pigs of our our field or study field. Like the studies that I did was like a brand new study field. I don't know how to call it. How do you call that? Course? Uh, yeah, you know what I mean. It was like a brand new thing. So, and I was in the very first year of that brand new thing. So no, safe to say, no, needless to say, a lot of things would change after every single year. Like courses would be added, some would be removed, like the ones that I was genuinely interested in, which was fine, which was fine. Yeah, I made it through. That's the most important thing. Thank God, man, I made it through, man. Jesus Christ. Oh, there were so many people giving up, and I was like, man, I should just do the same. But I didn't, right? I made it through. I got the piece of paper. I'm done, right? It's a good thing because it did introduce me to programming, and now it's like a passion of mine to program. It's good. It's good stuff, man. Very good stuff. Deathstarke app, stream, music. Train of thought is gone again. God, I need to put my beer here. It's getting warm. Yeah, the Deathstarke app. Yeah, 1,000 hours at least minimum, just to, and you can't even tell when you're using the app because there's not a lot in it yet, but a lot of the work is behind the scenes for right now, like all the security, the like how data gets through, and freaking registrations, account stuff, file upload stuff, that kind of nitty gritty things. Like, and that's how I always program. Like I always do functionality first, and then I do design. And in college, they would always tell me to like do both at the same time or something. And I do realize why they would like tell me that, but it just doesn't work for me. And if it doesn't work for me, I'm not gonna do it. Screw it. Screw you all. I'm gonna do my thing. So again, like functionality first. That's why I'm doing all the backend things first and all the complex code, and after that I can like start with the cool fancy functionalities and like the graphics and whatever. But I always want the core first. The core is the most important thing. And that was done actually. I think I released the first version in August 11th, I think, on the stream birthday, actually. But that was far from finished, man. Jesus Christ, that far from finished. I thought it was finished, like, and with finished, I mean like a first working version, right? A usable version. And I remember the weeks after that, like 2 to 3 weeks after that, I fixed like hundreds of bugs and like made so many improvements. Um, so it's crazy. Like I thought I found all the bugs and there were like at least 100 more, which is ridiculous. But all of those got solved, and I actually remember like having, I was making, oh, it's 10 p.m. already, Jesus. Um, I was making a checklist of all the bugs. Holy damn. Like maybe I can quickly show it. Oh, those were my knees. It's probably too bright. Hold on. Wait. Well, maybe you can kind of tell, but yeah. It's not even all of them, but like there were so many things that I found. Hold on. Oh Jesus, that I needed to fix. So that was quite a trip. But like I said, I was so dedicated to fixing all of these things that I just did it. You know, it never was too much work or whatever. It was all good because, like I said, the bigger picture was there all the time, and I knew that it could have a good future. Like it had a lot of potential. It has a lot of potential. Um, so now we're around the end of August, I think. And after I dropped the Deathstarke app and people could like use it, like make an account and chat, I was like, okay, that's good. We have like a solid core. Of course, there's not a lot of people on it because I haven't properly promoted it. But it's cool. Like it does. I don't. That's like the least of my concerns. How many people are using it right now? It's there. If you want to use it, you can. You can chat with the other Fadamakas who are on there. It's you know, success. Now we can continue to chat, right? Because on my birthday the YouTube chat group was gone. Actually, it wasn't on my birthday. I mean, they said it would be on my birthday, but it was still there on the day. And then a couple weeks later, it was finally removed. Yeah. So where are we? The end of August? Yeah, I think the end of August. And as soon as I dropped the Deathstarke app, I was like, there was like a weight from my shoulders in a way, or maybe not a weight, but like another block that I passed or something, that was finished, kind of. And as soon as that was done, I was like, okay, what do I do now? Do I just continue to work on it? Nah, I wasn't really feeling that. Yeah, I just started looking for jobs again, I think. Yeah, that's what I did. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I just started looking for jobs. Um, Again in the same IT field because I didn't know what else to look for. But all of a sudden, when I was just searching for programming jobs, all of a sudden there was like a random little job in there, um, that caught my eye. And you have to know, like, there's been so many days where I was daydreaming of what would be my ideal job, you know, and like with my goals in mind, you know, with the music and everything in mind that could make everything work. What would be like the best thing to have? And my answer was always the same. It was a print shop. Like, not kidding. Like every time I had to go print something in my local print shop, every time I went there, I just always had this vibe of like how chill those people were, and like how cool it was to just know all those print thingies and different sizes and different materials. And there were never like it was never too busy, and even if it was, it wasn't really too difficult work, you know, to get the job done for the clients. And I don't know, man, every time I went there, I was just like, man, I would love to work here, and then just you know, just chill, take it easy, right? And you do your work, interact with people throughout the day. It's chill. You learn some new things. It's a nice solid pace, um, never too busy, and when you're done for the day, you're done for the day. Like, you don't take your work home, you're just done, and you can do whatever you wish with your free time after until the next day. And that was my ideal thing. Like, not kidding. And truth be told, the job that I found, the job offering that I found, was to work in a print shop in my favorite city as well. And as soon as I saw it, man, I immediately applied. I didn't even read the thing, like the specifics. I just saw a print shop and I was sold, man. Like, I just went for it. And I'm so glad I did, because I immediately got a reply, and I got to visit. I think maybe 2 or 3 days later, and I came in, and immediately, like, the boss came up to me, a very friendly person, especially now that I know him for a couple of months already. A very friendly guy, very direct, and he just quickly gave me a tour and told me what my job would be, which machines I would operate, because pretty much the job, like, spoiler alert, I got the job, but the whole thing is to, like, prepare orders and make books, or like put them through machines to, like, fold them and, like, how do you call these things, staple them, but it's like with a machine or something, so you can do a lot of them, and then just do normal store stuff, like interact with the clients, help them if they have questions, do some cleaning, yeah. So it was pretty much what I expected, and there's I can give you guys I tried to talk about this with my friends so many times now, and I always want to give them the whole list of the advantages of this job, man. How amazing it is. How incredibly amazing this freaking job is. Like, I still cannot believe that I actually found this job and that I get to do it still, I guess. But at the same time, I realize that everyone's different, and it's pretty much the reason why I say it's so ideal is because it's ideal for my current situation with the goals that I have, with what I want to achieve. Maybe for someone else, it would be just whatever or something, right? They wouldn't see it in the same light. But the way I see it, man, dude, it's such a blessing, man. It is one of the best things that happened this year is this job, honestly, because it created so much, like, mentally it has helped me a lot too, to create, like, a good routine in my weeks, to get out there every day and discover new things and interact with people and learn and read. I started reading a lot too, by the way. I actually started reading a lot more, like, at the start of the year, but I kept at it, and now I'm a really, really bookie book, I should call it. Like, I really enjoyed. I especially enjoy going to one of my favorite parks, and just reading a book. I love it, man. I love the peace and quiet and just having that time to think while I read and enjoy nature. I love it, man. It could make me cry easily. That's how beautiful I think those things are. And that's how amazing of an effect it has on me. It just brings out so much emotion. It's insane, man. It's insane. And I urge everyone to find those kind of things that make you feel everything, or, like, all the good things and more. But yeah, back to the job. Like, I guess the biggest thing is the freedom, for sure. It's only 3 people, like me and my 2 bosses, which is amazing, which creates this very good bond between us all, and it's like very flexible with the communication, and there's never, like, chaos or whatever. It's all cool and chill. I love them both, and I'm sure they both like me as well because I'm still there. Like it's been 4 months already. Jesus, time flies, man. Life's too short, man. Life is too short. But it's been 4 like amazing months to just go there every day. There hasn't been a single day where I wake up and I'm like, oh, I gotta go to work. Nah, man, never. Like it's I'm excited to go to work there every single day. And it is a part-time job, but they're like most of the time I'm like, so it's like always 4 hours like by default, but most days like it's always 5, 6, or 7 hours anyway. So it feels like I'm there full time, and I actually want to be there full time because it doesn't feel like work. It's like I'm working, but it doesn't feel like I'm like working or whatever. It's great. It's amazing. I wish everyone has could have that kind of job, man. Like maybe not the exact same job because I'm sure some people would not enjoy it like I do, but just a job that doesn't make you feel like you're doing a job or something, but you're still working, you're still doing good work. But yeah, like the flexibility, the hours, Jesus Christ, I got to choose my own hours, and they were so like happy with like my custom timetable, even though every day like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday is the same, and then Friday I do a very early shift so I can still stream on Friday. Um, and they were so like cool with it and kind, and I'm still so thankful for that because just because of the fact that I could choose my own hours, it gave me such a good image of how I could like structure my weeks. And at like around the time that I started to work there, I started working on the album, and so it was very good timing to um like make sense of it all, of like this and this and that, and just put a structure in it. And in this sense I do like my structure, I guess. um and dude, I can never talk about it enough how good of a thing it is, man. It allowed me, because of all the freedom with the job, like, so it's like two things, right? Like what in on for one half of the time, or it's not a half, whatever. I'm just gonna call it a half, but it's not, accurate. Um, I would just prepare orders and make books, and use all the machines, or just help clients or whatever, or just order stuff, or like unpack deliveries. So in the store itself, and then the other part is actually delivering the orders, which is so much fun, man. Like holy, like everything about this job is perfect for me. It's insane. There's nothing I can think of that's negative or annoying. There's nothing. It's all good. Like the delivering part, right? At the start, actually, they had this huge old van, right? It was literally falling apart, by the way. It was falling apart. It was horrible. But it was so much fun to drive around with that thing. It was the first time that I drove like one of those huge vans as well. So it was kind of, I had to get used to it, but it only took me like one day before I got the hang of it, the hang of the van. Another cool thing is that when I got in, there was another dude who was working. He was actually finishing his working time there. He was quitting to because he lives pretty far away. Like he lived in that city while he was working there, but his girlfriend lives in another city, and they tried to find a house or something. So he quit this job to move back there to make it work out or something. And I hope he's doing well. I haven't talked to him since, but I hope he's doing okay, because he was like an amazing person as well. Very kind, very chill, down to earth, easy to talk to. He taught me all the things in that last week, in my first week and his last week that he was there. He taught me so much. Told me he showed me a lot of the addresses to where we usually deliver. told me all the sneaky details of machines and like the of materials and all paper stuff. Like super awesome guy. And actually, the second last day that he was there, I took him to the pub and we had a whole bunch of drinks and had a good talk. And it was like a very wholesome thing as well, because I remember coming in the next day and he greeted me with like a big smile and told me he really had a good time just hanging with me the day before and then just talking about life and stuff. And that was super sweet of him and like a very cool dude. Um, so yeah, and after that week when he left, um, of course the beginning is always rough because you have to start from zero, you have to learn everything, even though I had the help of the dude. Um, there you still have to go through all the motions to find your rhythm with the work and know where everything is. And so I had to ask a lot of questions which I don't like, but you have to go through it. There's only one way. But now that so much time, like 4 months have passed, now I'm like at a very comfortable spot with everything. I know what I have to do. I don't have to ask questions rarely. If I do, it's more as like a check or something, just to check up that everything is still okay, stuff like that. So yeah, so the delivery part is amazing as well, um, because it allowed me to discover um, the majority of the city, to be honest, like, and especially the insides of all the colleges and like there's colleges and hospitals and authors' houses even. Apparently, there's some famous authors who come there to print their books as well. Like I have to make their books. Like that's my job. That's so cool. And actually, there was one author in Bruges that I had to deliver to, which was the biggest distance that I had to drive. Like usually it's all in the city, but this one was like in Bruges. Um, and it was so cool to go there and like talk with that person who wrote those books. It was so cool. Um, so yeah, there's that. But like the coolest part is that it allowed me to discover so much of the city and like the places there. Because I suck in geography and I always get lost. I rarely know where I am anyway. But that really allowed me to see structure in the city and discover it in my own unique way, I guess, which I'm very thankful about. It's just one of the countless pluses with the job, to be honest. And like because we have like most customers that we have are like recurring customers, so every week I would deliver to the same places. Not every time, but like there's always returning customers, and then over so many weeks you get to know those people that you deliver to. If it's like in hospitals or colleges, there's always like a person at the how do you call that, like the lobby or whatever, or secretary. And then you get to know those people, you talk with them, and it's cool, man. It's so cool. And other times it's someone, it's like a different person every time, and then it's whatever. um, but again, just another advantage, really. So there's a delivery part, a store part, and I could go on and on, man. Like I could easily fill a whole day of me talking about how amazing this job is. I'm not trying to like boast or whatever, but this is just how happy I am with it. It's perfectly lined up with what well, like with my vision. And when that happens to you, this is how you react, I guess. When everything's lined up. Um, think. So yeah, that's been amazing. And as soon as I found my groove, my rhythm, my structure in the weeks, I also started to write the tracks. And the cool thing is, like, eventually, how I would go through my days um, is wake up, work out, eat some healthy stuff, drive to my work, And I would always park at like just outside a zone where you would have to pay for a ticket, right? So I always park free, but of course it's a pretty long distance that you have to walk still. But that's a plus for me too, because it allows me to walk every day, do a decent walk every day, like back and forth when I return back home. And most of the time I'm not even taking a shortcut. I'm just going the long road, which I love, man. I love walking. It's insane. I love walking so much. Um, and so I would do that, and then during work I would just kind of, as soon as I find my groove with what I have to work on that day, um, as soon as I find that groove, I would just kind of zone out to a healthy amount and start just hearing melodies, rhythms, lyrics, whatever. As soon as I hear something, I'm like, oh, I run to the back to like a quiet area and I hum it in my phone and I go back to work. And that would happen like 20 times a day or something. So some days nothing happened, and that actually happened more towards the end, and that just made me. I just took that as a sign of, okay, I have enough. I have enough concepts, or now it's time to just put all the pieces together or whatever. And, you could interpret it as something else, but that's just how I chose to see it. Um, but yeah, it just worked. Another cool thing is on the radio. Was that a voice crack? On the radio, it's like 24/7 classical music, like classical compositions, which I love. Now I can't stop listening to that radio station anymore. It's so much fun, man. Like just in the early mornings, or whenever I go to work, like I would just already start listening to it in the car. Um, it's so good. I love it. I prefer it over like the mainstream things for sure. Another plus, and I can keep on going. I haven't even listed a quarter of everything. Um, yeah, so the structure was there. Yeah, the ideas were coming in, just humming in the phone. Thank God for phones, man. Thank God for recording technologies. You know what I mean? Like if I had to do this in the 70s or something, it would be terrible. But then again, in those times you would just find another method. You would just I would probably get good at just developing absolute hearing or whatever, and just instantly know what I'm hearing in my head. I can just instantly transcribe it or something, something like that would have happened, because you don't have anything else, so you would just work with what you have 100%. But we're not living in those times, or I haven't lived in those times. I wish I had. I wish I lived in the 70s, to be honest. I wish my prime time was in the 70s. But what can you do? But yeah, like I've gathered at least 500 of those voice recordings in like 3 months. So it wasn't like it's easy to come up with ideas, but to get something more out of it is usually the challenge. Oh, my feeties are asleep. That was the bigger challenge. But in my experience, what started happening over time is that I would hear like one piece that I recorded, and then I could glue it together with another piece of months ago or something, and it would just kind of line up and it would work out. And that's how I ended up with those tracks, to be honest, like just pieces of everything, and it would just sound good and natural. So I went with it. Um, that's pretty much how I did it, man. It was just a lot of humming, lots of humming and beatboxing, just gathering up all the resources, all the recordings, and then like every time I would drive to and drive back home, like drive to work and drive back home, I would sing along with albums to train my voice again. And right now my voice is pretty rusty because I haven't talked in days. But I do practice my singing again, because I do plan on singing on the album as well. Right now I'm writing lyrics as well. But yeah, I do plan on singing again. I used to be very good at singing when I was in music school, but of course I was very young then, and it's pretty easy to sing well, I guess, when you're younger. But it's I'm 100% sure I can get my like a very good voice back again. It just needs training, like everything. If you train it, you'll get better at it. And then and so I that's why every day I would just sing along with Muse albums or whatever, and strain my voice to a healthy degree to like unlock a higher range, because my normal range is pretty low, and I wanted like, and I can't put a lot of force behind my voice in that lower range, so I needed to just adapt to a higher range, I guess, to get more force out of it. And that's been working out more and more. Of course, it's far from complete, but as soon as you notice that progress, then you're sold. You know, you're good to go. You just keep on doing it because you know it's working, or maybe it's only work. I don't know. To each your own. But yeah, but that was actually one of the struggles too. To be honest, at first I wasn't even planning on including vocals in my songs, which I actually think also contributes to the fact that the final tracks are more, I don't want to say mainstream, but like they're more easy to listen to, or something. I don't know, because of the whole lyrical part. And maybe that's only for now. Maybe in the second album I'll get a lot more wild and creative with implementing lyrics and like more technical pieces. You never know. You know, if the music calls for that, then so be it. If not, then so be it. You know, nothing is forced. Yeah, but I did like when I was writing instrumental pieces, it always felt like something was missing, that I couldn't convey my message well enough. So as soon as I added vocals, it was complete. So, you know, that was that. And I I didn't want to wait around until I could find someone to sing for me, so I just started singing myself. Um, because I do plan on, when I do perform, it will be just me on stage, and all the other music will be through the PA. At first, of course, right? Which I don't think will be a huge problem. If I hypothetically become more known, then of course I can afford to hire people to play with me on stage. But I do like the concept that I have will always be just me, like a one man band thing, um, which is, yeah, because it's, I really want it to be my music and everything that I want to express. Um, yeah, that's a big thing. Like, if it's not completely mine, I don't know. It's weird to explain. It's a weird thing. Um, like, I love to play in bands, but to make something of your own completely, regardless if it's good or bad, is super valuable. You know, because you know when it is finished, you know it came from within, and you were honest to yourself and passionate about it, and that's beautiful, man. It's really beautiful. Like, that's also why I don't really care too much if people will hate it or even like it. Um, like, if they like it, that's cool, of course. Like, the more people jam to your headbang to your music, the better. If people don't like it, it's okay. One, because everyone has different tastes, and two, it wouldn't affect me because I like it. You know, I really genuinely like these tracks that I have composed simply because they come from a very honest nature. Um, and to be honest, like, it took me a month, I think, of just thinking about what kind of tracks that I want to make. What do I want to sing about? I want it to be as pure as possible, and with pure I mean, like, I want to be honest with myself. What do I want to express? Um, like, since I was a little kid or something, what were those pure feelings that got, like, clouded over the years because you get older, you meet people, you make excuses, you go different paths and stuff. I just want to venture back to the core. Who am I? What's my story? What do I want to tell people? what do I want to feel when I hear those tracks? You know, what kind of feelings am I chasing here? And yeah, with all the tracks, they make me feel what I want to feel now. And probably they will make me feel even more once they are completely finished. Like right now, it's only, like I said, the skeleton. Um, and like sometimes it's more than just a skeleton. There's some nerves on there, some meat, right? Some whatever. Um, but even in the core, it already makes me feel, oh yeah, oh yeah. um, but yeah, that's why I'm really excited to really finish the tracks, or like wrap a body around the tracks, you know, wrap a body around that skeleton, um, and then just go crazy and ask wherever I can play, if I can play it. Um, that's a very handy thing with my work too, is that when if I want to make like the if I ever want to print CDs, right? And of course you shouldn't print CDs instantly if it's, you know, if people don't ask for it, but I would definitely just print at least one just to have like a final project, you know. And my job would be really helpful to like create the book thingy there. So that's just another of those little things, you know. For the CD, I will have to go somewhere else, but that's worries for later. It's just one of those little things that it ties in together again with how I like to incorporate all my interests in one, you know. I love it. I love it. Let me just check again, see if we're still recording. Sorry, my boot. 1 hour and 21 minutes. Okay, that's nothing, man. Like I said, I could keep going on for hours and hours, but whatever. It all has to be natural, right? My voice is already fading. Okay. Yeah. And some tracks can still change a little bit, probably. I think like the real test will be when I play it live, and then you instantly start hearing things differently or in a better way or something, and then you would change it. Stuff like that. But like I said, the core is there. Are they the best tracks that I composed? Of course not, but they shouldn't have to be, because if you create your best work on the first album, then where do you go from there, you know? I don't to be honest, I don't think that's even possible. Like, you have to go through the motions, you have to suck at, you know, you have, I don't know, it's all good. It's all good. In short, it's all good, right? This is the right way to go about things. Just let it all out, whatever you feel. Doesn't matter if it's out of key or not. Just let it come out, write it down, and go from there. And then just grow and keep enjoying it, you know? You have to enjoy it. There are some days where I'm like, holy damn. Like I had to take, like, I wanted to work on it 24/7, but you just can't. I don't think that's possible, because you, for a couple of reasons. You need to, one, give your ears a rest so you can hear your own tracks with a fresh ear after a while. And two, it's so mentally draining to, especially in the first initial part where you have to come up with things, find like pieces that you can put together. It's very draining, for me at least, very mentally draining. So I couldn't do it for a lot of hours. I needed distraction, which is where watching other people's streams came in. I watched The Witcher, by the way, very good. I'm very impressed. I'm so happy. It's very good. I'm just hoping that the next, because it will grow, it will get very famous, if it's not already. I mean, of course, because of the games, but I mean the TV show. It will only get more famous, and hopefully they will not crack and just go in a rabbit hole, or however you say that. Then again, they do have an advantage that they have the books, right? So I'm just hoping for, you know, I hope they take their time, make it real good, like this first season. I saw people who didn't enjoy it as much, but it's I don't. I mean, I think most of the people that don't like it are the people who play the games or read the books and they just compare it, and that's fine, of course, to have that critique. But for me, someone who casually played the games, especially the first one, hasn't read the books, it's so welcome, man. I loved it. I binged it. And it was a very good thing to distract myself with. And this was in the last month. Like the previous months, I would just read most of the time. Yeah, I think reading, to be honest. I try to alternate between composing and um, programming, but that didn't work out at all. That's impossible. Like, if I didn't program for a week, I would just completely lost all that muscle memory and that overview of my code because there's so much code at this point, and your boy does not comment his code, like barely. So yeah, there was that. So yeah, that wasn't possible. It was too draining. Like it was too much. So that's why now that the tracks are the core is done, I'm thinking more and more about getting back to the Deathstarke project and adding new functionalities to make it even better. Because it does have so much work cut out for itself. But yeah, we can only do one thing at a time. And of course, the brand new stream layout, version 3.0, the green screen stuff that I still have to incorporate. There's so much stuff, man. I really wish I could do it faster, but I can't. I tried. I can try again maybe another day, but it quickly becomes too much. It's too much for me. Like, yeah, it is what it is, I guess. Maybe over time I get better at handling multiple things, or just getting results faster or something. Maybe I still have to grow in that regard, but for right now I just can't. It's yeah, it is what it is, right? But like I said, the awesome thing is that we'll get there, right? We will get there. And I can't wait. I'm excited for that. So yeah, the tracks, the Deathstarke, the stream. Is that everything? I guess. I mean, like I said, the past 4 months was work and writing music. And I actually did I did go out a couple of times. I did have some well, some adventures, I should call it. I don't know if I should talk about this, but it's a live commentary, so I should be honest. I so I've never been like a hookup guy, right? And I'm like 26 right now, and there's always been this thought that there's always been this thought inside me, which would tell me like, or like, where I would ask myself, am I doing the right thing? Am I like living correctly or something in a weird way? Am I missing out on something? And you know, I'm 26 now, and these are like the years where you should get everything out of your system, and I don't think I've done that, because I told you guys earlier, I'm not a party guy. I don't really go out in a certain way, like for clubbing or whatever. I do enjoy going out, but not for parties or whatever. It's not for me. And I never really had a problem with that, but like lately I have been thinking of like, should I do things? Are there still things I should get out of my system now that I'm young? And like, hooking up was one of them, man. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be straight up. Like, I've always been a relationship kind of guy, so I've never done like the adventures stuff or whatever. So I wanted to get it out of my system. So just to put it short, I got it out of my system multiple times, and it's not for me. But at least I've got it out of my system now, which I'm happy about. Now I can just safely continue. I mean, there were some other things that I got out of my system, but that was like a very interesting one. So I did meet a lot of people, um, and had some very interesting conversations as well. Like I actually met up with people who I never thought I would meet up with. Um, and yeah, always led to very interesting conversations most of the time. I don't think I had a bad one. And very interesting nights, should I say. Um, yeah, just one of those things, man. It's weird, isn't it? Like, it shouldn't be that big of a deal. And now that I've done it, it's not. But it's one of those things where you have to do it, and then you see it, I guess. I don't regret doing it at all. Like, it was fun, right? I'm such a guy. Um, it was fun, but I'm cool. I'm cool with it. And after that, I just 100% dedicated my time to writing music. Uh, like it's not that I needed that, but it just because I got it out of my system, like it created that tunnel vision. Um, like it's okay to just spend all my time and effort into just composing here, and I don't regret anything. It's all been for the best, especially now that I've got like a good result already. It's all been for the best. um, so yeah, so all by all, very like I don't live in years. I've said that in the beginning, I think, unless it's like the second take, but no, this is the first take. um, I don't live in years or whatever. I don't do how do you call it? How do you call that again? When the new year starts, you make oh god, I'm brain farting. How do you call that? What's the word, guys? What's the word? Holy Jesus! Drink. Resolutions. Resolutions. Right? And that's fun to do. Like I sometimes do that just for the fun of it, but I don't wait for the new year to start working on them, I just realize, hey, I'm still alive. Okay, I should work on it because I might die any second now. Like any second the earth can explode or whatever without any reason even, without context. It can just end. So carpe diem, right? And that's actually another thing. Nihilism, man. Nihilism, like, has been such a drag for me for so long, and it still is. I don't think I ever can get rid of that. But nihilism is pretty much realizing that nothing has meaning in life, whatever you do, no matter what kind of legendary stuff that you create. In the bigger picture, it's what does it mean? It's such an annoying mindset, and once you get caught in it, you're kind of stuck. It's very hard to get out of, and I really had it tough, even with writing. While I was writing music, there were so many times where I was thinking, why am I doing this? What's the point? Um, yeah, it's really an odd thing to get out of, and I don't know how I did it. It just I guess some days the mind just kind of forgets about it, and I could work on composing, and things would just work out. Um, I don't know, like it's a weird thing, man. It creeps up on you at the weirdest times too. But thankfully, like it didn't impact me too much. Or maybe it did. Maybe that's the reason why I didn't write anything for so many years. Because I am 26. Like I was supposed to write these things when I was 18 or something. Just for example, why did I wait so long? Why did I delay all these things? That might be the subconscious reason. And maybe I'm just lazy. But maybe I'm lazy because of the nihilism thing, because it's so apparent. You can just yeah, food for thought. But all those things, Oh, I shouldn't talk about it. Whatever. Moving on. Um, yeah, what was the last thing? Grab. Goldfish, man, goldfish. Maybe I have to cut it here. Maybe that's like the cue, the sign. Because I do think I've covered everything. Sluggishly, but you know, that's what you get with these live comms. It is the end of the year, the end of the decade, so I hope you guys are having good, happy holidays, whatever you celebrate. Um, I hope you have a good New Year's. And we'll do this again, I promise, right? The next time we'll do this will probably be a very, very interesting commentary. Um, if I apply the same kind of rules to this one, like progress-wise, then it will be a really interesting video. Yeah, I'm just thinking like there's nothing that I should discuss. Not that I can think of. Like I said, the music thing is the most important thing to me. So obviously, most of my time went to that. So that's, you know, and I'm really dedicated to it. So, and then the streams and the programming. And besides that, I don't really do anything. I just read. I take walks in the park. I actually visited my favorite park in Brussels like maybe last month because I wanted to record some footage before it potentially started snowing. It hasn't snowed yet, and it's like the end of the year, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, I needed some footage before it started snowing. I haven't even used that footage yet, but I do want to use it for the green screens in a way. And all these concepts are like great in my mind, but then when I eventually start working on them, it's like it's like discount, you know. But I do believe in it. It just needs more work. It's one of those things that I will start working on after the music thing is done. So the plan for the new year. So right now, now that the skeletons are done. First, I will give them all a good body. After that, I'm going to contact some of my friends who work in the music production business, the mixing and mastering fields, and I'll ask for their help because there's no way I can do that myself, mixing and mastering. So yeah, it's a lot better to ask some help with that. And it's always good to get a second opinion as well. So that will happen first. And throughout the first couple of months of 2020, I still have to invest in a whole bunch of music gear, like for the live performances. So obviously the bank account will bleed, but it's all good, right? It's all for the right things. And I can't wait. Like I hope that goes smoothly and pretty fast because I'm really excited to just get out there and play live and share the joy, so to speak. What's next? So take care of the music first. That has all the priority in the world. And once that's been taken care of, then I'll just go back to Deathstarke and the stream. I'm pretty sure I can do those two things side by side because it's a different dynamic than programming and composing at the same time. What the hell was that? Something slid off somewhere. Jesus, that was pretty scary. Okay. Jesus. Think. Deathstarke and the stream at the same time, yeah. Of course, I'll be able to stream a lot more as well for the time being until I decide to work on the second album, I guess. Or like I'll have to make room for performance nights or whatever, I don't know. But then again, I don't stream at the evenings anymore, so that should still be very doable. So yeah, but like I said, number one is music. Like make the live performances happen. Ideally, because next summer, Maggie Moo and hopefully Aaron as well might come over here um, in like July, and it would be really cool to have everything taken care of so I can perform while they are here, because it would mean the world to me if they could see me like all like just doing my thing and happy, and I just want that. It's like an image I've had in my head for the longest time, and I want to make it come true. It would mean the world to me to have those two there. So yeah, that's why I'm really taking this serious. So once that's done, got all the gear, we're working on the performances. I'll do the Deathstarke app again, and I'll actually start up again, like getting used to my code again in the next couple of weeks, I guess. Write down some bugs that I still need to take care of, or some new ones that I found, some new ideas. And the same thing for the stream, ideas and fixes and whatever. And also a big thing is that I want to continue writing my book. My book. I can't pronounce book, whatever. Because I have a book about empathy, but it's far from finished. I always thought it would be like a life work. I don't know how to call that. But I don't know if it will be, like, I guess we'll see. But I do just, like, I know that I want to continue writing for it, and I can't wait until my weeks are structured that they revolve around me just writing or something. That's the most important thing, in a way. Of course, it will always be music, but it would be cool to like just have those worries like subdue for a while, and my only concern is like just to write or something. That'd be very cool. I will get there, I'm sure. So yeah, writing is something I want to do this year as well, if I have to make some resolutions, I guess. And yeah, and just pray to God I keep my job, I guess. I'm pretty sure I will. I want to stay there as long as possible, and just have fun with it, I guess, because it has been fun for the past 4 months. There hasn't been a single negative thing that I can think of, and I'm honestly in such a happy place right now, and I'm just really happy, man. I'm happy. I'm excited. I'm so convinced of who I am and what I want to achieve. And the coolest thing is that it's all coming from within me. I'm not depending on anyone. I'm not. It's all from the core, and from a place of honesty and love and passion, and that's powerful, man. Also, I want to get into drumming again, because I haven't been able to play my kit in months. I only have like a practice pad and a double bass pedal practice pad, which actually helped me a lot to develop my double bass, which has been awesome. But the pad is broken already, so I need to order a new one. But Jesus Christ, that's like the best investment I have done this year, I guess. Maybe in a top 3 or something, whatever. Yeah, but somewhere next year we're doing some works here as well to create like a medium-sized insulated room where I would be able to play drums again. So that's going to be awesome. So hopefully that's only a couple months away, and then I can really just grind my drum skills again, because that's my thing after all. But it just sucks. Like it sucks to see yourself get worse over time. You know what I mean? It's a terrible, sad feeling, man. And a practice pad it helps a little bit, but it doesn't, it's still nothing in the big picture. So I'm really excited to just get back on that and play my own songs, and that's something where live performances will really help as well, with just being able to play, yeah, but that's all for the nearby future, I guess. That's pretty much everything, I think. that's your 5-minute recap, I guess. And the beer is not even empty. Jeez, that's like still like half full almost. Jesus. I think that's all the important things. If there's anything else, I'll probably talk about it on stream. Like I said, hope you guys had a good year with lots of progress as well. If not, do not worry. You will get your progress in, right? Sometimes it just takes time. You need to see it as a test or something, right? Life is just testing you in a way. Always try to take something positive out of the negative, etc. It'll really help you. And stay true, stay honest, stay real, right? Keep that progress. No, keep that passion that you have inside you, but also let it out. Yes. I think that's it. I think we're done here. Like I said, I could keep going on and on, but I think it's a good time to wrap it up. Thank you guys for watching. If you made it this far, Jesus Christ, you're insane, but thank you. We'll talk again soon, here or on stream or whatever. Yeah, this has been your boy. Your boy is happy. Y'all take care and peace. Yay.